This is WGEO-FM, Radio Free DC.
I'm Ted Costas, and I'll be with you from 9 till noon.
The Senate is voting today on the president's latest nominee for Secretary of the Year. I'm Harrison Green.
And I'm Leanne Plunkett, and our guest today is Senator...
Hi-ho, ready regulars. This is the mighty Dr. Q.
Don Tafsuni with Capital Punishment.
I'm Quentin Lamoureux. Welcome to the Classics Shelf.
Today's vote on the president's latest nominee is expected to be very close.
The Senate today rejected the nomination.
Have you forgotten to send in your pledge?
Somebody please take somebody take her off of my hand. She's everything I've ever wanted.
Get down, Ted. Should we attach any significance to the fact that you played the same song 3 times in a row?
I like it. It's my show. I'll play what I want, when I want.
Jumpy, aren't we? This has nothing to do with your ex-wife coming back to work here today.
Absolutely not. And who's jumpy?
You are.
I am not.
Oh, hi, Leanne. Okay, you're not jumpy. How would you describe your mental state?
On the air. Billy Vera, who emphatically doesn't want her or need her. I'm Ted Costas, and this is Long Day's Journey into Lunch, made possible this morning by a grant from Modudyne Microchips. Have you tasted any microchips lately? Well, folks, have you noticed how flavorless they are? Well, I bet you haven't eaten a Modudyne. They're mouth-watering and 100% cholesterol-free, and now available in zesty jalapeno. Here's the great Pat Williams Band, Autumn Morning.
Ted, you're the program director. Read the damn Modudyne copy the way they wrote it. It's just one sentence.
Better semiconductors today for a better world tomorrow. That's a sentence without possibility of parole.
Ted, there are so many ways to say this, I couldn't make up my mind. How's this?
Well, she's been gone. She's back. Her name's Leanne. I'd take the rest of the day off.
You know, I really admire you for being able to put aside your personal feelings and have her back.
No big deal. I'm fine.
Really? Of course, I've never met her, but I heard that the two of you got into some real knockdown...
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Fine. Don't mess with him when he's this fine, Jay. Ted, there's a kid at your desk that I'm recommending for that job as your assistant. Now, I told him you'd interview him when you were off the air.
Ted, you know, I've been working in here for 3 years without any pay at all. I don't know. I got the idea. I don't know how. That if a paying job opened up, maybe I'd get it.
Because I promised you would.
Maybe that's how. Now, Naomi's got this guy, and...
Well, Jay, what am I supposed to do? Give this kid the bum's rush?
Oh, would you?
Sure. Let's go. Hi, Ted Costas. Hey, you recommend somebody. I can't wait to meet him. Sam Durkin, Jr.
You remember Sam Sr., chairman of the board of now available in zesty jalapeno?
Wow, Sam. Let me read that resume. 2 summers at Baskin-Robbins.
Yeah, I was Scooper of the Month twice in '88.
Well, Sambo, I'm going to give this all the consideration it deserves.
Well, wait, that's it?
Hey, I believe in first impressions, and you've made yours.
Jeez, Ted, I never knew you could be that cruel. Thanks.
Okay, look, right off the bat, do me a favor. I am not the kind of person who handles emotional scenes real well, so I'd appreciate it if we could just pick things up right where we left off 3 years ago, as if I'd never left. I'm Leanne Plunkett.
Oh, take that.
Thank you.
Leanne.
Ted, thank God. I hate reunions with people I've never met.
So how's your husband?
Jonathan's on the road plugging his latest cookbook.
Well, we're all happy to have you back. The show's missed that Cobra Mongoose thing you and Harrison had. He can't do it alone.
Well, no, you're right. Harrison isn't as warm as a cobra or as attractive as a mongoose. Harrison.
Leanne. You know, if I told this guy once, I told him... Gee, I guess it was just once. Get that little gal back on my show.
Little gal, your show.
Right. Did you fill that assistant job yet?
I'm working on it.
Ah, I've got someone I'd like you to see. I interviewed a remarkable young woman the other night. Certainly passed my personal litmus test.
Got her in the sack and only 2 drinks, huh?
Ah, there's that wit. I love it. Oh, and about that assistant job, don't forget, you owe me.
You owe him? You fracture a guy's collarbone once, he figures you owe him.
Oh, come on, Senator. If Europe is refusing American beef because of steroids, why should we eat it?
Well, I really think that they're overreacting.
Speaking of things bovine, Senator, why, oh, why did they stop putting milk in glass bottles?
I'll certainly be happy to look into that.
Oh, there was something about those old glass bottles. The way that rich cream would float to the top. My mom, God rest her soul, she'd have to give it a good shake before she poured it.
We were talking about meat, and you said that...
And in the winter, you'd find it there on your doorstep with 2 or 3 inches of that frozen cream sticking out of the bottle. And our little old cat, Patches, God rest his soul, he'd be a-mewing and licking at it.
Right after he finished eating a cute little old rat. God rest its soul. And then your mom give that bottle a good shake, miss those nice rat germs up in it real good, and then you drink it. Yum.
Yes, we're happy she's back, too. Thank you.
Dandruff, Donald, dandruff.
Mom, Quentin's being bitchy again.
He leaves the booth in a mess. Last night, my listeners had to hear Brahms' violin concerto through a residue of this man's cranial effluvia. May I remind you, I am not the cleaning woman.
We know that, Quentin. If you were, you'd be getting paid.
Ted called for you. Gretchen Schreck from St. Louis. She says you used to babysit her.
Gretchen? Well, hi. My golly, it's been a long time. Yeah, well, how are things in St. Louis? You're in Washington. Looking for a job. Come over and see me. Well, sure, anytime. Pop over anytime. That'd be fine. I'll see you then.
She's coming right over, isn't she?
How could I not see her? She was a fat little kid I used to babysit. When she couldn't sleep, she used to make me sing to her. How do you turn down a girl you used to sing to sleep?
Whoa, Dad, you stud. So, how'd the big reunion go?
Big reunion? Honey, this is business. We're all adults here. Everybody's getting along just fine.
This was your idea, having that bitch back. I'm putting you on notice right now. It's either her or me.
Good show, Harrison. Got that old sparkle back.
Oh, you thought so too. Good. Good.
That was fun, Harrison. I didn't realize how much I missed you. Hi, darling. I shouldn't be too long.
That's okay. Heather invited me over for dinner to study.
Oh, no. Not Heather again.
I never should have told you she got that diaphragm.
Look, honey, it's not that I don't trust you.
Then trust me.
Look, I don't want to get into this like the other night. You can go, but the Heather issue is not closed. Harrison, you want to tape that promo for tomorrow's show?
Later.
Never mind, I'll do it alone.
You know, Mom was real up in the car this morning.
Yeah, well, you know, your mom, she loves to drive.
She's happy because you asked her to come back.
To work.
Well, working together is how you guys found love the first time.
Look, honey, I know what you're driving at, but your mom and I get along better now than when we were married.
Maybe because now you're more mature.
Maude, there are real complicated emotions here that I sure would like to explain in more detail, but I don't get them myself. Besides, you're forgetting something, kiddo. Your mom is married. She's happily married.
Dad, Jonathan hasn't been home in a week.
Because he's out on tour plugging his cookbook.
Because they had a huge fight. And he checked into a hotel.
A hotel?
Bye, Mom. Bye, Pop.
Bye, sweetie.
So, anything you feel like you want to talk about?
Like what?
Oh, I don't know. I just figured first day back, something might be bothering you. I mean, Harrison, Maude, problems at home?
Okay, we had a major fight a couple of nights ago.
Really? About what?
This girlfriend,
Girlfriend?
Heather. That's all I hear lately. Heather, 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 and her famous diaphragm.
You mean you talk about this with Jonathan?
Oh, yeah, he says, at least she won't get pregnant.
What? That's not the point. Haven't you told him to put a stop to it?
Well, yeah, but he says he'd rather I took care of it.
What?
But she won't listen to me.
I cannot...
Maybe if you talk to her.
Me?
Why not? You're her father.
Talk to Maude about her friend Heather.
What did you think I meant?
That? Of course. Yeah, what else? Sure, I'll talk to her.
Thanks. I could use a little support these days.
Anything else on your mind?
Well, no, nothing.
Listen, since, Jonathan's off plugging his book, maybe you'd like to have some dinner, huh? I could buy you dinner, and maybe we could talk some more.
Well, that's sweet. But we don't have to go out. I've got leftovers in the fridge. You could come over and we could heat things up. Let's go out.
Oh, here you are, Ted. That young lady who called earlier, Miss Schreck. She's here.
Oh, send her in.
Ted, remember, that's my job, my job.
Mm-hmm.
Please, don't give it away to some fat girl you feel sorry for, okay? My job? All right.
Hello. Oh, Teddy.
Gretchen?
Gretchen Schreck?
Well, Gretchen, golly. Oh, this is Jay, Edgar. Jay, Gretchen Schreck.
Hi. You look so much like a guy I went with in high school, only you're much better looking. Teddy, you must think I'm awfully pushy calling you like this after all these years, but, you know, it's just like my dad always said, if you want something, Gretchen, you gotta go for it, and I really know I want to work in radio, so what the heck? Here's my resume.
Gee, Gretchen, I hope I didn't give you the impression there was a job open.
Oh, no, you didn't say it. No, I was just sort of, oh, you know, desperately hoping.
Well, a paying job, anyway. I mean, we can always use another volunteer.
Well, you see, I've got rent to pay, and I'm sort of in the habit of, you know, wearing shoes and eating.
Well, I'll keep my eyes open. Maybe something will come up.
I'd appreciate it. So nice to see you, Teddy.
Oh, thanks. Same here.
Goodbye.
Hey, what about that job as your assistant?
That job. Well, that's a very highly skilled, very technical job.
Yeah, but have you seen this resume? I mean, M.A. in broadcasting, news intern at NBC. Woo, snap this kid up.
Jay.
I'd appreciate any consideration.
Oh, absolutely. We'll give you every consideration.
Just put that on my desk. I'll give it a fair perusal.
Well, that's great. Thank you, Teddy. And you too, Jay.
That's Gretchen Schreck. Somewhere in the world, there's a Courtney Fairchild who looks like a toad.
Jay, you're trying to give away a job that 5 minutes ago you would have killed for.
Ted, in those few minutes, something happened inside. Something deep, ethereal, spiritual. Well, that's not to say that I don't want to do the deed with her. Woo, am I glad I transferred out of divinity school.
Hi. I just found a couple of typos on my resume. May I please use one of these?
Take your pick.
Thank you.
Type these notes up for me before I leave, will you? I need them for a commentary I'm doing.
No. See, I was just, working on my resume.
Could you do that on your own time? This is important.
Leanne, maybe you should do this with someone who works here.
She doesn't work here.
No. See, I just had this interview with Teddy, and I found this small mistake on my resume, so I'll just bring this back later.
Fine.
Teddy.
Leanne, I've known her since I lived in St. Louis.
It's true. He used to sing to her in bed.
And now he's hiring her. Well, she quite clearly has all the qualifications you've ever needed.
Leanne, I don't have to justify my actions to you. Not on this subject. Not anymore.
Sorry. I was way out of line. But geez, Ted! We both knew that this was not going to be the easiest thing in the world, my coming back, and then you go and hire someone who looks exactly like that Helga person you were chasing when we were married.
Married? You filed for divorce. And
No,
Anyway, Gretchen doesn't look at all like Helga.
Well, their names are alike. Swedish.
German.
Blonde. Anyway, the point is they're both sensational looking.
Okay, so they're sensational looking. Since when is that grounds for discrimination?
I beg your pardon.
Leanne, you're attractive, and nobody ever held that against you.
I'm not that attractive.
You're that attractive, every bit as.
Not like her. She's
25. You're 10 years old. Every bit as attractive.
Look, this is a mistake. I'm going to finish out the week, and then I'll be...
What? You go back to being a wife and a mother?
Yeah.
Shopping? Have lunch with the girls? Oh, look, you didn't come back here just to do me a favor. You need this, and you know it. Look, we had something special when you were here, and I've missed it.
Yeah, well, I guess I missed it, too. Working here.
Yeah, good. I tell you what, you stay, and I promise I won't hire Gretchen. Deal?
Oh, no. I don't want to be responsible for costing somebody a job. Oh, hell, deal.
You know, the trouble with having parents who are deaf is you learn how to read lips, and sometimes you see a lot of things you don't want to hear. Divorce from someone you really care about is nothing but pain. That's what they tell me. So who are you going to hire?
10 whole seconds of sympathy, huh? Leave me alone, will you?
Stop putting this off. What are you waiting for?
A sign from God, okay?
I'll give you one. Hire Sam Durkin, Jr. We need that grant from his father.
Naomi, the kid has the intellect of a Nerf ball. There are people who care about radio, who've studied broadcasting, who deserve this job.
I hear you. Hire Sam Jr.
You never gave me an order before.
Did that sound like an order?
Yeah.
Then I guess it was.
Oh, Gretchen. Hi.
Hi. I just came back with my resume. I was going to leave it earlier, but I noticed there were a couple typos on it, and I realized what a bad impression that can make. I mean, if a person's going to make a mistake on her resume, it can really make you wonder how she would do on the actual job. You know, if she were to get it.
You're hired.
I am? Well, I thought you said I'd have to wait.
Well, let's just say I had a sign from God. She told me to have a life.
Who's that?
The station manager. She wanted me to hire someone else.
So you hired me?
Well, that's not the only reason. I was gonna hire Jay, but you see, he's got this crush on you.
Uh-huh.
And there's Leanne. She thinks I want to sleep with you, and I'd like to prove to her that's the furthest thing from my mind.
Oh. Well, let me get this straight, if I may. I'm being hired for a responsible position in a highly respected radio station because the boss wants someone else. Because Jay has kind of a crush on me, and because you're trying to prove something to Leanne. Is that it?
Well...
I can live with that.
Leanne, this is Gretchen Schreck. She's my new assistant.
Were you looking for those notes you asked me to type?
Yes.
I'm sorry. When I picked up my resume, I must have picked them up by mistake, and I accidentally took them with me.
Did you, by any chance, bring them back?
Oh, yes. But I typed them up first. There's this word processor next door.
Oh, well, thank you.
You know, I did my master's thesis on that same subject, Leanne. But your fix on it answered questions that I didn't think to ask. I can see I'm going to learn a lot from you.
Oh, well, thank you, Helga. Gretchen!
Hi, Gretchen.
This is going to be such fun. Good night, Leanne.
Good night.
Good night, Teddy. Boss.
You see, I knew you two would hit it off.
Ted. Remember, we were going to have dinner together.
Oh, right.
Well, forget it.
Horrors in a mental institution. Her clear mind trapped in a disabled body. I'm Maria Shriver. Her true story, When Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow, returns tonight.
And later, for the best in late-night entertainment, join Johnny on The Best of Carson, followed by Late Night with David Letterman, only on NBC.